One of the Puritans I read early along was Thomas Doolittle. Thomas Doolittle was a nonconformist tutor and preacher who was converted by God through Richard Baxter's work, The Saints' Everlasting Rest. He was a popular Presbyterian preacher and teacher in his day. Set in the reality that God is eternal, Doolittle's new work here will press this biblical truth into a practical mold, considering how eternal realities apply to men in all their stations of life. The title of the work is Man's Life in Light of Eternity. What is man in light of eternity, in light of the eternal nature of God? He first considers the idea of eternity in general, then considers how we should be influenced by eternity and its prospect. He considers the soul, how God made it eternal, and what that means, as well as considering then both the happiness of the soul in heaven and the misery of the soul in hell, and how those function in light of the eternal realities of both. Then he looks to convince the reader to look at all they do in light of eternity, and how all things that they do in their life, whether they are thoughts, words, or deeds, have an impact on our eternity. They do. Everything done has an impact on eternity. He also takes the time to encourage ministers in light of eternity to be about their business and not to waste a moment, because men's souls hang in the balance. Finally, he applies the entire work in a conclusion and in a final application. Doolittle's work is best summed up in his own words. Is there an eternal state, one of unseen eternal joys and the other of eternal torments? If so, who can sufficiently mourn the blindness, madness, and folly of this distracted world, and the unreasonableness of those with rational and eternal souls, to see them busily employed in the matters of time while neglecting everlasting things? An excellent work. This book is available right now at Puritan Publications. Go to www.puritanpublications.com for more information on this work, both in ebook and in print form. Doolittle is practically taken up with the question and application of neglecting the things which God finds important, things in light of eternity. He says men neglect God and Christ, and they do this by his frequent and even constant refusals of remedying grace, his seldom thoughts of death and judgment, and his neglect to make preparation for another world while considering only things that are temporary. His emphasis is to awaken men by the Word, particularly pressing his main text of 2 Corinthians 4:18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. May you be blessed by God as you study along with Doolittle on this most important topic of man's life in light of eternity.